Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. Sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
All right. Mic check. Mic check. It's been a long time, hasn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, it has been about 7-8 days since we done this. Big shout out to everybody out there that's been patient. Also, got my channel update as far as from YouTube, and big shout out to all the new people that subbed. I mean, we picked up like 16 to 18 new subs in July, and those summer months are tough months. So shout out to everybody that's done that. But we got what we got going on. We got college students moving back in today, at least at the University of Kentucky. They're moving back in. It is an absolute disaster down there on campus with all those new freshmen coming in and everything, which means the Starbucks that I go to is going to be packed tomorrow. So yeah, I need to be getting my stuff somewhere else. But shout out to everybody that's here now and everybody that will be here later. Put a 1 in the chat if you're having a good weekend, if you're gaming. I know I gamed. I played Mass Effect 2 on the PlayStation 5 for about an hour and a half yesterday. Recruited Garrus. I'm gonna do another about a 1 hour playthrough again as soon as this podcast is over, and it will be on YouTube. So make sure you stand by for that. I can actually talk to you on YouTube with PlayStation. Again, my headsets for the Xbox ain't working, but I'm selling my Xbox in a few more months. So it is what it is. I'm happy with the Xbox. I'm glad I didn't listen to the fanboys and the shields. I listened to the developers, and this is the way. This is the way. Shout out to the Mandalorian. I'm fine with it. I don't mind the what it does because I listened to the developers. I didn't listen to the fanboys and the shield. So what it does, what the Xbox does, we're going to talk about the Xbox today. We're going to listen to a little bit of a Doc Dark video. Shout out to Doc Dark. I left a link in the description. Make sure you go and sub to him or go to the video and like the video. It's about a 6-minute video. We're going to listen to some of it and just break down kind of what's going on with the Xbox and how it's, not doing what the fanboys said. But yeah, we'll listen to it a little bit because he makes some really good points in the video. And again, it's a short video and it's fair use. It's not an attack video on Doc Dark. I like Doc Dark. I appreciate his honesty. It's refreshing. But yeah, we'll listen to that video a little bit. And so let me make sure I turn on the media source button. There we go. So that's the way it's going to be. But yeah, so but as you can see here, this kind of broke a couple days ago and nobody mentioned it as this. If you're gonna play this game, Lords of the Fallen, it allegedly, and this comes from our friends, it's WCC Tech. We'll do this first. But what up to everybody that's here? Briaros says hello. How's he doing today? I'll shout out to is it Sumplizia? Sumplizia? Hopefully I'm saying that name right, but yo, what up to you? Grudia, how you doing, young man? I know you're waiting on the big UFO show. I'm going to be on YouTube today heavy. So I'm doing my Trump indictment video, and then I'll do the UFO video. So it's going to be part of the same read. So just hang in there. That's going to be about 5 o'clock. That'll be after, that'll be after all these other YouTubers get off the air. JTech and MBG and probably you all's favorite YouTuber, Marlin Gaming Nation. All of them are done. It'll be later today. Look for it about 6 o'clock. That's the best thing I can say to you, my brother. Look for it about 6 o'clock. Okay. But I wanted to bring this this headline up for you all because, for one, this is on the Unreal 5 engine, but I want you to look at it. It clearly says it's going to be running at 1440p 30 or 1080p 60. So, and this is a multi-platform game. And so you have to remember the reason I'm bringing this up, and again, I don't care that it's 30 FPS or 60. What I care about is what I told you all before, which is that, I don't know if you remember, but put a 1 in the chat if you remember me saying that that 30 FPS wasn't going anywhere, that because the games are getting bigger and the games are you're going to still get 30 FPS games. Now we shouldn't get a whole lot, or it should be an option. I don't care that we have 30 here because we have the option for 60, but 1080p, people are saying, well, it's not next gen. 1080p is full high definition. And if you can get ultra graphics and you get all these new techniques for them to upscale and down sample and all that kind of stuff. We were gonna always keep that. And also remember, the first Unreal 5 video that we saw running 2.5 years ago was on PlayStation 5, and it was 1440p. People got to remember that it was 1440p 30 as well. Now, if the 1440p was down sampled, they got like 4K, and they down sampled it to 4. It was something that they did for the Unreal 5 engine. But again, I hadn't planned on buying this game. So, but if you plan on buying the game, you do have the option for 60. Okay. And it clearly says here that it's a Souls-like game. So all you all who like those type of games, here comes another one similar to it. All right. So, you know, it is what it is. It says it will be running 60 FPS 1080p on both Series S, X, and PlayStation 5. This is good. This is why I said before that the Series S was designed to do 1080p 60. So this is good. They've taken advantage of it. It's going to run Unreal 5. This is fantastic for you all who are going to buy this game. And again, I've heard really good things about it. But again, I don't play games like this. So make sure you keep me in the loop if you do play games like this. And let me know what you all think about it. This would be something, Lords of the Fallen will be something that I would possibly purchase on Black Friday. You know, when you can go into the stores and you can get 3 games for $80 or something like that. This would be something I would probably pick up. So, but I'm backlogged. I mean, for the rest of the year, I'm booked, you know, all the way into what I'll be talking about, the Call of Duty game as well in this podcast. We got a nice little thing to talk about here. So, but this is Unreal 5. Now, as we get further and further into the generation, you'll start seeing more Unreal 5 games hit 60, I think. I think you'll start seeing more, but again, that engine is now we're at a point where we're going to start seeing the game. So that's good news if you're a gamer. But let me know if you're disappointed at 1440p 30. But also remember, I specifically told you all that 1440p wasn't this stuff wasn't going nowhere. You know, I said 30 FPS wasn't going nowhere. Checkerboard rendering wasn't going anywhere. You know, I specifically told people that. So, and, you know, people are like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, 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 this and that. The developers are going to be able to do this, this, and this. And again, this just simply proves my point. Again, Mark Cerny, during his PlayStation announcement, rolled the PS5. He never said all these games are going to be 4K. He never said that. And at no given time in that video, if you watch it, did Mark Cerny say that. So I don't know why people told you all that everything was going to be a certain way, when Mark Cerny at the time said it's now up to the devs to determine how they use what was put in front of them. And this developer decided to do 1080p 60 with Unreal Engine 5 and 1440p 30 with Unreal Engine 5. Now, I understand 1440p 30 because the first time we saw Unreal Engine 5 running on PlayStation was the game, the demo was 1440p 30. Now, and they came back and said, they being the Unreal Engine people, came back and said, yes, we could have done it at higher intervals, but they decided to have a more cinematic look to the game, to the demo, which is fine. But wanted to just bring that up because I don't see a lot of people talking about it. So, Danby Gaming 30 FPS for the Series S. Well, it has an option for all consoles at 60. You can play it at 1440p 30, which I'm sure will look great, but it's gonna play as a slog. And if you like Souls-like games, I guess that's a big deal. The way those games play, you want higher frame rate. So then you just go to 1080p 60. And again, that's what would happen if you had a PC. That's what would happen. The people don't understand. When you download a PC game, you can run a benchmark by your computer, and your computer will say, we recommend this, and it will recommend it. Have all your settings lined up for you, and then you can either put that as a default setting, or you can you can skip those settings and go into what is called custom settings. And that's where you can go in and change the water graphics, the cloud graphics, the vegetation, stuff like that. So that's when you do stuff like that. It's within the GPU. So it's like, well, I want to be 1440p 60. Well, then guess what? You can't play at high to ultra graphics. You're going to have to play at this graphics setting. That's all there is to it. You may be in medium graphics, but hey, you're getting 1440p. Then if you say, well, I want better graphics, the first thing you're going to start taking assets from is your resolution. That's just the way it is. That's why I can, on PC, most of your PC gamers are playing what? At 1080p, but they'll be playing at 160 frames or something like that. Again, the trade-off is the performance. So at least with Lords of the Fallen, if you purchase the game, you are going to get a performance mode. You're just going to sacrifice resolution, not graphics. It may not ding your graphics at all, but it's going to ding your resolution, and that's the trade-off. So, and again, if you want 4K 60 if you want 60 on every single game, you go out and buy a gaming PC, or you put one together. However you want to do it. You don't have to put it all together at once. You can just piecemeal it together. That's what I did with mine. And I'm about to go get this other one with the 3060. I'm just saving up to get a new motherboard. So, and then boom, I'll have my PC. So it is what it is. Sony first party games will be 60 FPS. Yes, all of their first party games have a 60 FPS mode, but a lot of them are 1440p 60. There are, or they'll sacrifice something. Look at Spider-Man. Spider-Man, the remaster right now. You have a 4K mode, 4K native mode. Looks fantastic, but you have ray tracing on it. But you sacrifice performance because it's 30 FPS. Now, if you trade in and you say, well, you know what? I'm going to trade graphics for performance. Then you have a 1440p mode at 60 FPS with ray tracing. That's the mode that I played it on. You also have a checkerboard at 4K, which is still 4K, but it's not native. So you're sacrificing some fidelity, but it runs at 60 FPS, but it has no ray tracing. So there's your sacrifice. There's your trade-off. And it's okay. You just have to decide. I decided to play at 1440p 60 with the high graphics settings and ray tracing. That's perfect for me, but I'm a 1440p hound dog. I love 1440p. So I'd much rather play at 1440p than any other thing. That works for me. I'm not going to say that 1080p is bad, however, because I play games at 1080p. When I played Gears of War on the PC, I played at 1080p open frame, but I was getting like 90 frames per second, and I was happy with that. I'm like, yeah, and I had it on high to ultra graphics. Like you could download some ultra package or something like that. It was free, so I downloaded it. So, but yeah, most of Sony's games do offer a 60 FPS mode. So that's a good thing. That's good. So, but moving on, I just wanted to talk about that briefly. Before we go into, we'll talk about the Modern Warfare 3 beta, which apparently is launching on PlayStation first. So, Warfare 3 beta, yay! Let's see here. And first things first, Modern Warfare says 3 may be cheaper than the previous games. All right, and this is coming from this article I'm about to put up now comes from White Zaddy. People better get ready for this. What's up, Kenneth? How you doing, brother? Shout out to Kenneth. He says, "What up, Craig? How you doing, my man?" So if you didn't know this, the Modern Warfare 3's demo will be available on PlayStation at least 5 days before any other. So again, if you want to play the demo, and I'm going to buy the game, it will be. Again, I've said this before. This is my last Call of Duty game because I have enjoyed the reimagining of the series, but this is my last one. Now, I have not watched the previews. I've not seen it. I'm not going to watch it because I'm buying the game. I've enjoyed the game. So they give me what I got with the first two, I'll be happy. I'll be the first one screaming if I can't call in the B2 and get one-man army. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go and get Modern Warfare. I got to get the physical edition of that. Okay, I've got the digital edition, and it runs great and all that kind of stuff on PlayStation. But I went out and bought the physical edition for Modern Warfare 2. So I got to get the physical edition of Modern Warfare 1. That's just, me collecting. Because why am I doing that? Because I collect physical media. That's why. That's why I'm old school. So that's why I'm buying the MCU and Infinity Gauntlet run, so to speak, because I collect physical data or physical media. But it says here, now this is still part, and this is the last time you will play this on PlayStation first. Starting next year, when Activision becomes part of Microsoft will get the beta first, and they may even, or beta, the demo first, and maybe they even give it to Nintendo. I don't know, but Sony will be. This is it. So enjoy it. This is why I'm saying it. Well, go ahead and enjoy it. This is not coming from me. This is not coming from some fanboy site. This comes from White Zaddy. So you guys that are all up on White Zaddy's nuts, this is it. It says here that Modern Warfare 3's public beta will be first available to PlayStation users. And they have the trailer here. I'm not going to play it. It says here, that's according to an advert taken from Sony's Arabic YouTube channel, which reportedly said players can play demo first on PlayStation at least a week, 5 business days before any other platform. So then it goes into all this other stuff. And this is, again, is that price? I think that's price. So yeah. So now it says here that Activision has confirmed, I don't know what this big long thing is here. Players will be able to transfer a vast amount of previous acquired Modern Warfare 2 content over to this year's sequel. I have no idea what that even means. So, and the game launches in November. It says transferable content will be the likes, you can carry weapons and cosmetic content. That's actually pretty neat, I guess, if you are into that. It says including bundles, operators, and other rewards previously unlocked by players are currently available in Modern Warfare 2. So I guess that's all you people putting on headsets and calling in the B2. So, so I think that's good. But it says here in closing, it says Modern Warfare 3 made an official trailer this week, which it did, following months of reports claiming that this year's installment will be a sequel to Modern Warfare 2, which we now know it is. Activision is yet to discuss Modern Warfare 3 in any specific detail, but it has confirmed a November 10th launch on Xbox One. That's the old Xbox. The Series consoles, which are the new Xboxes. The PS4, which is nice that they're still supporting this with PS4. And PS5 and PC. Okay, so the question is, do you plan on buying this? I know I do. I'll be buying this. This is crazy how many games I'm gonna have to buy this fall. I'm getting Madden next week. All right, so I'll have Madden here. I'll be playing that over the weekend, next weekend. So I'm getting Madden. What else am I getting? Oh, Starfield. There's like a whole bunch of Spider-Man. And I'm still trying to get my hands on the Spider-Man console. Okay. And I assume the Spider-Man joystick, or whatever they want to call this damn thing for PlayStation, I assume here soon I'll be getting an email saying that that's on its way. And I'm getting this. I still may buy Mortal Kombat. I don't know. I don't buy fighting games, but that game for some reason has tickled my fancy. So, it is what it is. What's a bro to do, right? Are there any 4K 120 games on PS5? Yeah, Call of Duty. Call of Duty is 4K. So it is what it is. Hurricane 774 waves. Hey, my friend, how you doing? So, does the mod above me have a name? It's blank for me. I don't know what that means. So, didn't Spider-Man Remastered and Miles have 4K 120 option? Well, I think shout out to JP Local down in the land down under. I think it when they did VRR mode or something like that, it allowed more frames. So I don't know how high it went though, because again, I'm afraid to re-download Spider-Man, and because everybody keeps saying that once you see it on your TV, you know, because I have an LG OLED, that you'll just want to play the whole damn game, and I'm really trying to stay away from that. I mean, like, I don't want to keep going back, even though look, the two best looking games I have seen on PlayStation, let me make this clear, on PS5, it's a tie between The Last of Us remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it, and then Forbidden West. For me personally, those two games look fan-friggin-tastic. So, but I got heavy back into Aloy, but then I kind of got back out of it again because I'm trying to do this mission where I gotta destroy like 10 dinosaurs or something like that. And I keep getting killed, so it's very frustrating. So, let's see here, but I'm not sure on that as far as what it is. But again, this is about Modern Warfare 3. Now, again, full confession, I'm buying this game. I will be physically going in and buying this game, but I got so much to play. I still have Final Fantasy to play. I still have Resident Evil, which I'm going to probably break out Resident Evil in October, closer to when, because they're getting a VR mode. I think they're going to announce that sometime in October. So Gamer of Light did a roach crawl out my book bag. I don't have a book bag. Actually, I do have a book bag. I don't think a roach came out of it. So, my answer is no to that question. But again, this is not about. So, are you guys planning on buying it? This will be the last Modern Warfare Call of Duty game I buy. I don't have any of the World War II games. So for me personally, this is a nice swan song. Hopefully, it's an end. It's a fitting end for these characters. You know that that there's not going to be a Modern Warfare 4, which who knows? I mean, they could. I don't know. So, but hopefully it's a fitting end for these guys. I like the way Modern Warfare 2 ended. So, they're in Chicago. So I enjoyed it. Spoiler alert, if you haven't played the campaign, I enjoyed the campaign. And so I'm enjoying that game. So I didn't know if I would, but man, I fell in love with the clean house mission in Modern Warfare 1. The clean house mission is so well done that actual special forces people have looked at that video. You can pull this up on YouTube yourself. You just type in special forces reacts to Call of Duty clean house mission, and you will see actual special air services, which is like the Delta Force in Britain. I think a former Navy SEALs or maybe a couple of Rangers break down the video and they say, well, here's what's accurate about it. Here's not what's accurate about it. So, but actually, yeah. So they said once they got discovered that there's no reason to keep the lights out. You might as well, or keep the silencers on your guns. That, yeah, once you've been made, then you might as well just go loud. So he said that was unrealistic, but overall, the way they would stack to go up the steps and enter the rooms, that's exactly what it is. So is it multiplayer only? Do not know. Are you talking about Call of Duty? I'm not sure about the beta. It doesn't say. It did not say in what I read. So, but again, don't expect a whole lot of information about it because it's August and that game's not coming out till November. So, we got plenty to eat on, at least, so let's eat on what we got. But I can just simply tell you that I'll be buying the game, and it is as I said before, it's my last Call of Duty game, and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not one of those guys where you're just saying that because Microsoft, but no, I mean, this is my last Call of Duty game. I've been saying that for months. I'll have all 3 physical. I'll be happy with that, and it's time for me, and I can move off of it. So what now? Disney decided Australia will no longer get physical copies of their movies, shows, so Disney can bugger off. Well, I mean, that's the thing. And Disney also is, I got this email, right? Disney's going to double the price of Disney Plus. So my Disney Plus, even though I have Hulu through it, it's going to cost like $13.99. And of course, that's my cutoff, right? I do not want to pay more than $14 for streaming services. That's why I don't have HBO Max. Although I may get HBO Max just for the hell of it, but my HBO Max ran out in the summer, and I went to this thing, I downloaded this app, and it was like, do you want to keep using this stuff? And I'm kind of like, no, I don't. I don't have that. I have Hulu and Disney Plus. I have Paramount Plus, and I have Prime, Amazon. That's it. That's all I need. It's a whole lot. But, enjoyed Strange New Worlds on Paramount Plus, so I may end up canceling that now because that's the only reason I had it. I don't watch the other one, Discovery. They call Star Trek Discovery or something like that. I don't watch that. So, and that, I guess if I were, I need to watch that before you watch Strange New Worlds, because Strange New Worlds is happening like you see some of the Enterprise, the crew that you're used to. You see your horror, you see you've seen Kirk being played by somebody else. You've seen Kirk. They just introduced Scotty. That was a big deal with the season finale. We ran into Montgomery Scott, aka Scotty. But so I like Star Trek, so I'm enjoying it. But man, oh man, it's I think it's Star Trek Discovery. It's got that real hot chick on there. I may buy it. Yeah, $13.99. I think that's my DLC said that. So I was pissed. Yeah, I got the DLC to play to Cyberpunk. That's coming as well. When does that come out? I'm buying that. Now I'm restarting my playthrough of Cyberpunk because mainly that's why. But here's what I didn't like about Cyberpunk, even though, there were several things. First thing is called Cyberpunk, but also I didn't like the fact that even though it gives you 3 different starting points, it doesn't change your story. It starts different. Like the first hour may be different, but that's it. It's like, well, it doesn't incorporate a whole bunch of new stuff. Although, like I said, that sex scene with Pan Am was something else. That's all I can say. And the Judy chick, the one I wanted to get with, somebody told me that she likes girls. I'm like, oh man, that ain't what I want. JP Logo said he hasn't played Call of Duty since PS3. Really? Okay. Yeah, and again, this is just a reimagining of Modern Warfare 3. So, I'm interested in how it's going to go. Because it's right now we're just following this group of operators that works for the CIA. So that's all we're doing. And I think one time in Modern Warfare 2, when you got to capture, is it Gerbani? Hopefully I'm saying that correct. You become part of the Marine invasion force. It's going, and that actually is I like that kind of stuff. I like that. So, but that's me. And let me make this clear. I do not play this game online. So when I talk about Call of Duty, I'm only talking about the campaign. I'll be good. God damn. If I got to put on a headset and call in the B2 and get one-man army before you die, you can throw a grenade and be a martyr. This stupid stuff that I heard people tell me. So the Snow White remake, why is that? Well, how is that what's wrong with Snow White? What are they saying now? So, is Snow White, is that the woman who is it? I like this. Is it Snow White or Snow White? No, I'm thinking of Cinderella. I like Cinderella more than I like the Snow White story. But I barely remember, like, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, and Cinderella. It's all the same girl. Okay? It's always about some broke down white woman that can't get her way. Who cares? So let's see here. Gamer Light said diss track. Diss track on what? I am playing. the Forspoken DLC and start Remnant 2. Yeah. Like I said, I have no idea how this is gonna go for me. I just know what I'm spending my money on, and I still got like, I got a whole bunch of games to get, and still play through. And when I get Madden, that will take up a lot of my time. And yes, I think you can get the 10-hour demo of Madden, whatever it's called, Madden EA Access, whatever, early access. I still have that, and I have that specifically to play 10 hours of Madden. And then that does let you carry over things. That lets you carry things over. So, what up, Lorenzo Carson? How are you doing? So, but again, yeah. So, are you buying Call of Duty? And because I am, and are you excited about it? I am. I'm excited for the game. I'm glad they announced it for this year. So, but moving on, what is our next story here? Forza. Yeah, let's talk about Forza in the sense that we're gonna also trying to think what else here we can try to add to this. Forza missing features. You're getting Madden tomorrow? How? Oh, did you do the deluxe edition? Did you do the deluxe? Because I think the deluxe edition of Madden, you can get like 5 days early access or something like that. So I have to read about the Snow White remake controversy. Hit that like button, people. 50 people in here, 10 o'clock in the morning. Give yourself big applause to all you guys for showing up here this early in the morning. Multiple videos I'm going to comment on. I know Porterot did a video, did a 2-hour video, and J-Dub stopped in on it. Shout out to J-Dub. Shout out to Grinds My Gears. If you're not subbed to Grinds My Gears, make sure you go sub to him. 2 outstanding videos this week by Jez personally that I was able to listen to. But yeah, I didn't know there was a Snow White remake controversy. Y'all are silly. Well, how are you going to have a controversy with Snow White? But let's see here. Also, oh yeah, the PS5 Slim. Let me talk briefly about that. I don't think that thing is real. If that is not a slim console at all. I mean, granted, he's got a hold of it with one hand. It is smaller, but that ain't a slim girl. You know what I'm saying? So, that ain't a slim girl. She's thick still. I mean, if she's still thick, but I don't believe it. I got a poll up. Make sure you vote in the poll. Make sure you vote, guys. 50 of you in here. Make sure you vote in the poll. Do you believe the PS5 Slim leak video? Because I'm a no on it. I'm a no. I don't think that is the Slim. So, dwarves in movies and shows are offended according to is a dwarf. Well, again, right now nobody's working and there's a strike, so right now it doesn't matter. And I like Peter Dinklage. I like the roles that he's played. So, but yeah, he doesn't don't play the role. If you're offended by it, then don't play the role. It's that simple. It's that simple. But quit trying to get other people to pick up your crusade. It's simply like, hey, look, I'm not going to, play the role anymore. I understand that. There's a lot of black actors who do not want to play the role of criminals on TV shows. They're like, I'd rather just not act. Okay. But that means that there could be another black actor that takes that role. It happens, okay? It happens. So, I mean, most black actors get their roles playing criminals. I mean, if you watch any of 50 Cent shows, that he's got. So, probably a prototype by the same guy in the Philippines that leaked PS3 Slim. Oh, okay. Didn't know that. What's up, Eric? Eric, I went to the Bengals game Friday night, and that defense looks terrible. I mean, they look terrible. The first round pick didn't do nothing. Might as well pick me. I mean, they might as well just chosen me. I could have went out there and got my butt kicked. I mean, like he did. I mean, it was Miles Murphy or something like that. He's the top pick for the Bengals, and he didn't do nothing. Dude. Yeah, I mean, right now the Screen Actors Guild and the and the Writers Guild, they're all on strike. So, that's why everything's shortened up this year. Like, this is a pain in the what. Good grief. We don't have this basic stuff. So they're trying to start shows without Screen Actors Union. And again, I'm all for unions, but they make a lot of money. I mean, they offered them 35% more. And it's like, no, I want a piece of the pie. You making close to $250,000 a year writing stories. So, I mean, that's plenty of money for you. It's just people have gotten too greedy. And they have. Now, I understand if you won an Oscar, if you write a movie or a screenplay and it wins an Oscar, like for best screenplay, then you want to go out there and demand more money. That makes sense to me. But, Paul Rudd, who plays Ant-Man, doesn't command the same amount of money that, that somebody like an Al Pacino does, or, somebody like that. And yeah, get the F out of here. It's just they making too much money. They get $5 to $6 million a movie. So, I mean, again, it is what it is. Did I watch the GT movie? Not yet. I haven't got my junket for it. I am going to go see it. So, it's trying to take away roles from other dwarf actors. Well, that's the whole thing. I back him if he wants to say he's offended by it. But isn't it called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Isn't that what it's called? So again, I don't understand that. It's like they're going to make a Smurfs movie and the actors and actresses are arguing because they don't want to put on blue paint. I mean, it's like, it's your Smurf. Smurfs are blue. That's it. Smurfs are blue. and so, yeah, it's silly. But again, I understand what he's saying for his own accord. If he doesn't want to play in that, I back him. But he got to stay away from people who want the money, who want to act, who need the money. Okay? It is what it is. Subwin sweep. It is what it is. So the Raiders are going to probably be terrible too. Well, I just can't believe how bad the defensive line was. It's like, I don't want to hear all they had the 2s and the 3s. You wouldn't have a job if I was there. Like, it would be cutting people left and right. I would be like, oh, yeah. What is it? What is that dude called? The Turk? I would change his name to the Craig. So if you don't know who the Turk is in the NFL, when the players walk in during preseason, the Turk is always there. And the Turk will either say good morning to you, or he'll say, hey, such and such, you need to go, you need to take your playbook and clean out your locker and go to the coach's office. Because you get, and everybody knows what's going to happen. You're getting cut, or you got traded, or you got put on waivers or something like that, which sucks, by the way. But this is why you can't put all your eggs in one basket as a man. We're all men, right? You have to diversify your funds. So you can't, you cannot, like a friend of mine wanted to be a doctor, real good friend of mine. He couldn't cut it. So he ended up dropping out and getting into PA school. And because 80% of what he did in med school transferred over, he got through with PA school in like 9 months. It was 11 months, I think. And he started making money. And then he went to go work for one of the doctors. And he just worked Monday through Friday. He would go in maybe on late Saturday to do rounds on patients. And then that would be it. He get done like, well, I'm gonna go tailgating or something like that. Or he go in early in the morning to start rounds. And, because I went with him rounding one day, and it was funny. He said that he had asked out a nurse, and that nurse turned him down. And now here she was giving him report. So, you're going to write a movie called The Greedy Writers. Remember, greedy is spelled with 2 E's, but I understand. So, but yeah. So, you believe the PS Slim is legit because there's a video of someone holding it, showing the whole console? Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you believe that was a legitimate video? I mean, because I would vote no, but we'll have to wait and see. And this is also leading me to kind of say something about, I've seen a lot of people say that there was a PS event planned for September and Sony canceled it. that's the whole thing. When did Sony announce that there was going to be something in September? You know, these guys are saying that things are getting delayed. They haven't officially been announced yet. It's getting to a point where it's getting stupid, you know, and, you know, there's a lot of people guilty of that. And that's why I try to stay away from rumors. I know I do a good juicy rumor every once in a while and I'm still sleepy. Well, hit the like button and go back to sleep. So, but yeah, make sure you vote. We'll have that up a little while longer. It's not, you know, not a huge deal. But I don't believe it. I don't believe that. I believe there could be a slim. I'm not ready to believe that's what it's going to look like. So, let's see here. I'm just checking my email to make sure. No, I do not have a junket for Gran Turismo, the movie. I certainly hope it does well. I mean, the movies are overperforming right now. Oppenheimer is on track now to make like $780 million. Okay, I mean it's crazy, but it is what it is. And of course, the Barbie movie, if you don't know, made $1 billion. So you know, so but yeah, that is what it is. That's golly, I got so much junk mail in here. I still get stuff from Redbox. Let me delete that. So yeah, I haven't used Redbox in years. I do more digital streaming now. But let's see here. What will we talk about next? Oh, let's see here. Let's go ahead and let me give you my Forza missing features thing, and we'll break down Dot's video here. And let's see here. Let's put this on the screen. Let me go here. Gotta make that a little bit smaller. There we go. So again, why is this happening? And Forza Motorsports will be missing 3 fan favorites features at launch. So again, I think this is trash. I think this is trash. Now, Forza Motorsports is a showpiece game. So this is going to show the power of the Series X. Trust me, it will. But it says it says here, Forza still has stunning graphics. I know that. A variety of cars and game modes will be available on Xbox Game Pass. Now, I'm going to tell you what I was told about Game Pass, which is that, see, here's sign up for the bundle right now, but we know it's going up. So, there we go. So it says here that the next entry in the Xbox console exclusive racing game franchise will be missing 3 fan favorites at launch: spectator mode, AI racing, and split screen. That I cannot believe. I cannot believe that. So let me vote in this poll. I think it should be the Flash. So prior to the 2023 Forza Motorsports game, the popular racing franchise had a new entry every 2 years, with most of its games earning quite a bit of critical acclaim, proving popular. Yeah, it is. I mean, this is a good game. This is a good game. This is a showpiece game. Okay? It's a showpiece game. But the mere fact is, you know, the performances. This game comes out in October. I will be getting it. I will be playing it. So, but hopefully my PC, remember, my PC is going to be built late October, early November. So, it says here that it's falling short of its glory. I agree. I personally believe Game Pass, and I talked to somebody about this, it's just a glorified early beta program. You're paying for early entry to get the game because you don't have features at launch that it normally has. Now, a lot of people think it's because of the Series S, but I do think Series S will be able to play this at like 1080p 60. I mean, there's no reason for it not to be able to do 1080p 60. But but this is still unfortunate that that we won't have this, and that sucks. I mean, it sucks. And I'm gonna listen to Dark's video here. We'll kind of break that down. But for me personally, I've been told that the Game Pass is just a glorified early beta launch, test point. I mean, and they're conditioning these Xbox guys to expect less. And the Xbox community to me, comes across like they're willing to just say, well, this is okay and that's fine. We don't care that it has it doesn't have normal stuff. Oh God, Dana from StreamYards again. So there we go. Let me go down here. Go right here. See if we can get this pulled up here. So shout out to Dark, 1985, Porter Rock's brother. We're gonna kind of listen to his video here, and let me make sure I can get this all pulled up here. Let me go back over to the video. Let's bring it into theater mode. Go back over here. Make sure you get the media source. Okay, so turn it on here. Kind of listen to what he's talking about. You're not gonna listen to the whole thing. So I left the link in the video. Shout out to Dark. This is not me talking bad about Dark. Okay. This is just gonna be me. We're gonna listen to what he says because he makes some good points here, in my opinion. You can make your own mind up. We're gonna listen to the whole video again. Fair use. He's got it in a public place. I'm in a public place. I'm pulling it in. So fair use. Make sure you go sub to Dr. So here we go. Let me make sure that you all can hear this.
What's up, everybody? Dr. 1985. There's levels to this. So Forza Motorsport.
Doing? What are we? What do you mean? I don't even got to tell you what the features are that are missing, because the apologetics out there are going to come out and say, that's not even a mode that I would play. I don't even care about that. It's again, the principle is what this represents. So a first party Xbox game is going to be missing features that were intended for the game but are not coming out. Why?
Stop right there. He is 100% correct. He's 100% correct. Why is a first-party Xbox game not having features? That's a good question. That's a legitimate question. Let's see. I don't know if it's playing through or not. So hopefully you all can hear it. If you all can't hear it, I did put up the, what's the name of it? The closed captioning. But in essence, he's asking, why is a first-party Xbox game, again, not a third-party game, not a second-party game, why is it launching without features? That's a big friggin' deal. All right, that is a big deal, whether you like it or not. And this is not a hit piece. He's asking, I think, a legitimate question. And so I think that needs to be looked into. So, but we'll continue with the video. Again, fair use.
Because it can't run on the console? Why? We are now, whether you like to believe it or not, we are now being conditioned to accept games that are unfinished.
We'll stop right there. We're being conditioned to accept games that are not finished. I agree with him 100%. Now, I was told that Game Pass is just like an early beta entry program. and that you're paying for early access. I don't forget what it's called. It's like early access betas or late alpha, stuff like that. It reminds me of years ago when Destiny came out, and if you reserved or you pre-ordered Destiny on PlayStation, you got access to the alpha. And everybody was like, well, the alpha is going to be trash. And they were right. The alpha was trash. It was trash. So, so he's right. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I'm glad he said it, because they would be coming. If I said something like that, they would be simply calling me a pony. But I have been always, my whole belief system about the Xbox, about Game Pass has been, it's an early access program, and that most of Xbox's games are not going to be finished when they hit Game Pass. But you're paying for access to an ecosystem that's unfinished. They're putting unfinished stuff in there. And then you're going to say, well, we don't care because we get it for free. But you're not getting it for free because Game Pass costs what? $14.99, or they put it in tiers. They put it in tiers. So I mean, why did they put it in tiers? I mean, this is bad, man. I mean, that's just my opinion. But that's not a good idea. Again, we'll continue a little more. Fair use.
Now, there's ponies out there that'll try to tell you that this is a Game Pass fault, and you don't have to listen to them. They're not that smart. Their IQ's not that high. They have a disease called ponyism. They don't know what they're talking about, because there's games outside of Game Pass that have came out needing patches afterwards and unfinished. So it's not just Game Pass games, all right?
All right. Again, this has nothing to do with PlayStation. So this is where I disagree. I don't know why he said something about PlayStation. PlayStation isn't putting games into PS Plus that are unfinished. I mean, at least not to my knowledge. If somebody, I will stand corrected. If somebody wants to email me, or you leave a comment and say, hey, PlayStation put this game in and it wasn't finished yet. Okay. I mean, what game was? I mean, I'm not here. Look, I just don't know about it. If you say that PlayStation put a game in there unfinished, okay, what game? All right. So what game went day and day in there that was unfinished? I mean, Stray, I don't know. I didn't play Stray. Stray went straight in. Now it's gone, I think. Stray Cat, that pussy cat went home. So again, in my understanding, it's going to come to Xbox, and so is Kena Bridge of Spirits. I'm actually surprised that Kena Bridge of Spirits still hasn't went to Xbox. It's been on PlayStation since launch. I think it was a launch game. So that's coming up on 3 years. And you got people saying, well, they need to buy that. They need to buy them. They need to buy them. And I just don't see why, but okay. All right, so we'll get back to the video here. Let me kind of reset this.
Right, so don't worry about that. You don't have to believe that narrative, okay? But we're not going to deny, like, all the big Xbox games that should have came out and should have been a staple for Microsoft have been incomplete. Halo Infinite had modes missing. I mean, right now they have modes canceled. That whole split co-op is gone, right? Redfall, the box at 60 FPS, not here, not yet, okay? And now this game, and again, understand what this game represents. This is not just any racing game. This is Forza Motorsport, which is supposed to show the power and the prowess of the Xbox brand. And it has game modes missing.
Like my video from yesterday, there's so...
All right, so he's right. And he actually... Dark actually references other Xbox first-party games. And I don't want to hear people saying things like, well, they just didn't want to make Redfall. Then they shouldn't have made Redfall. But at the end of the day, he's right. Halo has things missing out of it that should be there. And like he said, I don't know if they ever put that stuff in there. But I mean, I think you're starting to see an issue like with split screen, because the Xbox Series S can't handle it. Okay, like Ron Artest says, you can't handle it. So, so again, I mean, I agree with what he's saying. Again, I don't know why he talked about PlayStation. PlayStation got nothing to do with this. You know, these games are releasing on PlayStation. He's right. The games do need to be patched. So there are some, and these games do get patched. People want to say, well, Forspoken launched and it wasn't patched or it wasn't ready. And I'm like, no, it was okay. And they're using FSR 2.0. So every time FSR 2.0 gets an update, they update Forspoken. That is, you know, but Forspoken is a third-party game. Now, and Dark, again, let me make this clear. He's not talking about third-party, second-party games. He is correctly talking about first-party games. I expect a third-party, second-party game to have some issues because they're not primarily making the console, I'm sorry. They're not primarily making that game for your console. They have a contract and they can make it the best they can. I mean, the only game that comes to my mind that launched on PlayStation that wasn't finished is No Man's Sky. That's not a PlayStation first party game. So, I mean, again, it is what it is. That's why I keep trying to tell people this isn't, it's not, this is an Xbox issue. And let me make this clear. If Sony releases games into the wild that are not 100% or they don't have stuff. I mean, imagine if they did The Last of Us and they were like, what about The Last of Us? They took out something called factions. Well, they needed to. Ain't nobody playing that. So, all right, so if you want to play The Last of Us, okay, well, they took that out and they never put it back in. Yeah, they didn't. They didn't. So I guess that would be one game, I guess, that I can think of. But and that is a first party game, and they did take something out that was in another version of it, but they wanted to concentrate on the single player aspect of it. They said that, and again, people scream, well, I can't believe they took out the multiplayer. Well, we know they're making another multiplayer version of that game, so that's why they said we was going to make the multiplayer separate. But I agree with Dark, and what he's saying here is that why are the first party games missing things that they have had in them for a while? I mean, I remember playing Halo, the original Halo. Didn't it have split screen? I don't know. It's been a long time. And, you know, like I said, after this podcast, I got to go take my Geritol and Metamucil and put my teeth in. But didn't it have it already? This, again, we'll finish a little bit more of this. Again, fair use. Let me kill my mic here. Go here. All right, so two things here he said. We'll start with the latter. Xbox fans do look crazy. I mean, that's just a legitimate, I agree. I disagree that Starfield has to be this juggernaut, so to speak. It'd be amazing because all it has to do is it has to be just as good as the games that are like it. So that's Elite Dangerous, that's No Man's Sky, and Star Citizen. Since those games are similar, and Starfield is taking a lot of themes from that, which is fine because that means that those games got it right. Okay, that means they got it right. They need their stuff that's similar to be just as good, if not better. And that's where Starfield has to perform. It has to perform in being just as good as games similar to it. If it's not, they're going to hear about it. You know, they're already, I mean, I'm telling you right now, the thing not having no vehicles on the planets, they have to change that. They being Bethesda, they have to fix that. Because the problem is that not only does it not have vehicles, but it has pre-landing destinations. And if you're going to have pre-landing destinations and then you go on a mission that's going to take you away from your ship, that you need some type of rover. I mean, this is nuts here. Okay, this is, I mean, you know, but it has to be as good as that. Now, what has impressed me the most with Starfield that I have seen, character creation screen. And I have said, I'm guilty of this. I will be in that character creation screen for probably 2 hours trying to figure out, because I want the character, when you do an RPG, the character is a reflection of yourself. So I'm going to make my character, and he's going to be, the decisions that are being made are decisions that I would make in real life. So, and there's some people, this kind of what happened in the Mass Effect community, is that you had people saying, well, I played Mass Effect and I just made decisions based on what was going on in the game. And there's some other people who made decisions based on what they would do if they were faced with the same consequences. There was a gamer MD83, when she said, well, I just based it on what was going on in the game. I would not do this in real life. And people were like, what? And she kind of went into a back and forth with people. So, but this statement here, people like me, this generation right now, we look crazy. I agree 100%. All right, they look crazy to me. So they sound crazy. I don't know about the way they look. I'm not going to mock the way somebody looks, because you can't choose your parents. But the stuff that some of these guys are saying is loco. All right, but we'll continue with the video. Fair use, fair use.
Right. How do we defend this? How do we defend this? You can't defend this. A game shouldn't have missing features. And if it does, tell me why. And convince me now that it's not because of the S. Convince me that it's not because of the S. I don't understand. Now, okay. Now here's the deal. Before you start saying, oh, he's actually a pony, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Listen. My PlayStation 5 is packed up right now.
Okay, we'll stop it right there. Again, I don't know what this has to do with PlayStation. This is an Xbox problem. I take that back. It's an Xbox issue. So, but in this part of the video, he goes into PlayStation and how it's melting at Evo and all this kind of stuff. Again, I don't know what happened at Evo. Somebody wants to tell me what happened at Evo. Perfectly fine. I have not looked into it. I got other stuff to do. I'm not just saying that because I literally haven't looked into it. So if they had devices melting at Evo, if that is true, then yeah, that's an issue for Sony. They got to fix that. So, but again, I don't know. He says, how come we can't defend this? I don't know why you would feel like you have to defend something. You don't work for Microsoft. I don't know, maybe he does. Maybe he does. So, and now there's people, I guess, in the Xbox community questioning Dark because he's not towing the party line. He's getting out of hand. You supposed to come back on this reservation, Dark. What are you talking about? But again, I don't know how this has anything to do with play. So we'll skip this. Trying to. So he talks about the PS5 making a coil noise. I mean, again, I don't have that issue. He does say in the video that if you don't have that issue with PlayStation, that's fine. But he is right. My Series X is extremely quiet. I've had to actually look at it multiple times to make sure it was still on. But so that is. But I've said that I'm impressed with how quiet the Series X is. The problem is the software. So, but he goes on to say the Series X is a better overall engineering. Series X is better engineered. So, let's see here. Trying to go back about right here. Okay. All right. We're going to start the video again. Again, fair use.
However, the software that's being placed on this freaking console right now is looking ridiculous. Especially on the Series X. Like what? Like, missing features. Where's my Redfall patch? I'm going to keep saying that. How are you going to drop a first-person shooter at 30 frames per second? How?
All right, stop right there because the answer to this question is because Microsoft is targeting 30 FPS. It's obvious at this point in time that Microsoft is targeting 30 FPS. Now, this doesn't mean that they're not going to spit out a pearl or two at 60, but overall, Microsoft is targeting 30 frames per second. They're doing that because the biggest selling Xbox, the Series S, is a 30 FPS machine. Now, should they try to target 1080p 60 on the Series S? Absolutely. If you buy a Series S, I don't know why you have it hooked up to a television set. Go buy yourself a monitor, a 2.1 HDMI monitor, and go ahead and get the VRR and all that stuff going on it, and go have a good time. You play at 1080p 60. I mean, it's fine. Most PC gamers are playing at 1080p. That's reality. That's the reality of this situation. So, and that is based on multiple reports, not just, oh, well, the Steam owner. No, I know a ton of people. I mean, everybody I know that games on PC, they're playing at 1080p. Now they're playing at extremely fast rates. You know, they'll have 165, 144 refresh rate or hertz. Like my PC, I have 165 refresh rate. So I can play at 900p and still have that refresh. And my game is going to look real good because I'm going to say, well, I'm going to activate my monitor's high refresh rate. Okay. Or FHR or something like that. High refresh, something like that. I forgot the name of it. So, but his answer is that's the answer. He's asking good questions. Why is it like this? Because that's what they're targeting. The dev kits target this, and that's what he's doing. The video is mute. Okay. That's why I put on the, I was stopped right now. So, but it says it's playing through my speakers, and I put on the alert media. So I don't know why it's not playing through if you can't hear it, but we'll continue to play the video. Fair use, fair use, fair use. So let me go here. Whoops. Let me go.
Microsoft first-party studios need to use every single tool available to them on these consoles. That's funny. I said tool. The tools haven't arrived yet. That's funny. Oh my. They need to show out. They need to prove that these consoles are worth it.
All right, so I'm gonna stop the video there because it just kind of goes into this montage, but ultimately you all get the gist. Now he ends up saying something like Microsoft has to prove that the consoles are worth it. That's a consumer issue. At that point, he's saying, as a consumer, and again, Lono with Reforged Gaming, who Dark knows, he's done real good videos talking about how the Series X owners have gotten ripped off, or he feels as a Series X owner like he got ripped off. So, and which is, I don't blame people for saying that, because and again, shout out to Optimus Code, who said that they were going to those developers are going to target the lower spec console because of parity clauses that Microsoft is going to put in, which is exactly what they're doing. If they get rid of the parity clauses, guess what? I think a lot of these developers would just no longer develop for Series S, which is not what Microsoft wants. It's just, it is what it is. Microsoft does not want, they don't want to see a game running on PlayStation at 120 frames, and Series S, they're having trouble getting 60. So, the JP Local is Redfall, is 60 FPS patch going to make Redfall a good game? Well, I don't know. I think the whole point is that they released a shooter at 30 FPS. So you really think about that. Forza Horizon is 30 FPS. That's its native mode. It does have a 60 FPS mode, however. All right, it does have a 60 FPS mode. So that's good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So I just think what's sinking into a lot of Xbox owners is that it's not that they got ripped off. It's that they, having a console that only targets, that has a lower spec console, they're going to target the lower spec console. So, it is what it is. And so a lot of people feel like they getting ripped off. they feel like they got ripped off. And they're coming to terms with that. So, and because they're coming to terms with that, you're going to hear a lot of people complaining and whining, and the developers are lazy and stuff like that. I think the only developer that did max out balls to the wall for Series S is CD Projekt Red. I think Cyberpunk is 1440p 60, but they stripped out a ton of stuff in the game. So you're seeing what they're having to do. It's like, okay, here's CD Projekt Red. They're very talented. How about you do things like CD Projekt Red, they say. And they're like, well, CD Projekt Red to strip out a whole lot of stuff on Cyberpunk. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, but we're going to move to our final story here, because I'm such a bore. This surprised me. But it says PS5 cloud game streaming begins rolling out to beta testers. Now, again, this comes from Engadget up here. Shout out to Engadget. It says it's a premium perk, supports up to 4K resolution. So this is a reason why to get premium. They're basically saying you want to stream games in 4K. I'm sorry, you want 4K streaming, I guess. You can get the premium and you can do this. So again, I don't have this. I don't have the premium perk. I gave it a month. I think I gave premium 2 months, or maybe it was 90 days. I think I gave premium 90 days to see what they were going to do. And again, I was early. They didn't have a whole lot. And again, I don't know what streaming is like. I do know somebody who had the Stadia, and they were able, with their bandwidth and stuff like that, they were able to stream games at 4K, and they didn't have an issue. So, but that was one person, okay? That's only one man. That doesn't count for the whole world, right? But it says here, and this is on August 8th, so this was on Tuesday, that Sony has reportedly been rolling out a cloud streaming beta for PS Plus premium subscribers, and it supports up to 4K res, announced in June as being in the early stages of development for, let me make sure my mic's on. There we go. All right. And it says this feature could help PlayStation avoid lengthy downloads that take up precious storage. I guess because it's coming from the cloud. So there's an alleged PlayStation email to an invited tester posted on Reddit. Reads, we're excited to unveil PS5 cloud streaming, and your help testing it means a lot to us. The beta period uses exclusive invite codes that can't be shared with other users. I mean, you have to have premium access, right? So now somebody said that a user, Asher or Arashi Games, wrote on Reset Era that they tested God of War Ragnarok at 2160p. That's 4K. That's its other name. You know it by its gangster name, 4K, but its street name is 2160p. Says that they're having no issues so far. They describe resolution options ranging from 720p to 2160p for that title, and they said Returnal streamed in 4K. Okay, so if you have this beta code and you're using this, what do you think about it so far? How about posting some? Because that's the thing. I would like to see some video going up. I want to see some video going up where I could actually look at it. Or if you don't mind, send me a code and I will go ahead and get the premium, and then I will do it myself. So, or shout out to J-Dub City. Maybe I need to reach out to J-Dub because maybe he can do some streaming if he got the beta code. So there's a new section in the plus menu that is for streaming PS5 games, the beta tester wrote. Just click the game and it loads in a few seconds. They listed Forbidden West, Fort Pub, Destiny 2, and Death Stranding, among others, as streaming options. So I guess Sony is allowing these games right here to be streamed. Says 4K resolution could prove a competitive advantage against Xbox cloud gaming, which maxes out at 1080p resolution and 60, which that right there is not bad either. I want to make that clear. But, you know, says Sony's upcoming Project Q will have an 8-inch 1080p screen with 60 hertz. I mean, 60 is fine for streaming. So the accessory is confirmed to use remote play, streaming directly from console rather than cloud, but could theoretically support cloud streaming as well. Well, theory only gets you so far. That's what they were saying in Oppenheimer, right? Says here that the streaming will be exclusive to PS Plus Premium members. The $18 month service already supports cloud gaming for PS4, PS3, and select classic titles. It lets you stream available games to PS5 or PC. Now, I do remember, and I want to give a shout out to Hip Hop Gamer because he did say that Sony was working on something like this and that it was coming, but people needed to be patient. So, as Bono said, they forgot to mention latency. Well, so far, they're not complaining about it, but it doesn't mean they don't have some latency issues. So, but again, it's if you have this beta and you're testing it, what's your opinion of it? Again, I don't have this, I don't have premium. That's $18 a month, and I think I'm paying 14 or 12. I can't remember what I'm paying. Now, you do get those alerts. You know, you get those alerts, especially towards the end of the month, like the last 7 days. And for me, my PlayStation, it'll email me and it'll say, you can get, you can get, what does it say? You can get premium for $3, for 7 days or something like that. Try premium $3 for 7 days. So I personally believe what Sony should do, and this is just my opinion, is give everybody access to premium for 2 weeks. This is after this beta test is done. Give everybody access to premium for 2 weeks to let them try it. Okay? To let them try it and see what they get back. That's just my opinion though, right? What is your opinion? All right? What is your opinion about it? So the VRAM boogeyman come here, maybe. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is my last story. So let me do a Q&A session here for about 10 minutes with you. Let me take this on down. I know Jez Gordon wrote some articles about it, but first you got the same people attacking Jez Gordon are trying to now say, oh, look at what he's doing. No, you can't do that. You're going to attack the man. But don't sit up there and be like, well, he's doing this now. He's doing that now. So, but yeah, hold on. Let me play some music real fast. So there is, let's see here. Because I am going to pour myself a nice tall glass of Bosco. Let me play some music for you. Man, whoever made this knew what the hell they were doing. All right, so do a Q&A with you all. This will encompass everything. So, which is fun to do. Which is fun to do. So, so we got a question here. Well, shout out to everybody that's come back through. So the first 48 gaming, shout out to the first 48 gaming. Said I did get ripped off. I spent $800 on Series S and X. Okay. Well, you're a consumer. If you feel like you got ripped off, I am sorry. So JP Local, the lower spec console is a pain in the ass to develop for. Yeah, but again, shout out to Optimus Code. Rest in peace to Optimus Code. He said this was going to happen. Am I having audio issues? No. I just wanted to play some music, go pour me a drink. So that's pretty much it. So nothing here nor there. Nothing here nor there. So seeing how well they implement PS Now, PS 4K was the next step. People really underrated Geico technology they bought a long time ago. Yeah, we'll have to wait again. I don't think make sure you vote here. I don't think streaming isn't for me, but I will listen to anybody's opinion that has firsthand knowledge. So what that's going to lead to, guys, is these classic PS games that you all want to play, PS3 games, stuff like that. They're going to be able to just stream them from the cloud. And you might be able to stream it at maybe, I don't know what your bandwidth will be, because everybody's is different. But your bandwidth could be 720. It can only do 720p 30, which is still better than what you had on PS2. So, have I watched the Twisted Metal show yet? No, not yet. Not yet. I'm hooked on this show called Lioness. It's on Amazon Prime, and I'm enjoying it. It's about the CIA trying to infiltrate. I don't know if it's the Taliban or something like that. So, I forgot who they're trying to infiltrate, but it's good. It's about how they get their terrorist targets as they befriend people of the family friends, people that know them, and then they go and kill them. So it's actually a pretty good show. I'm enjoying that. So am I going to go on Twitch today? Yes, I'm going to do a 1-hour playthrough of Mass Effect with LaQuisha Shepherd on Twitch. That'll be after this podcast. Now remember, unfortunately, that's on Xbox, and I don't have a headset for Xbox, so I can't talk to you while I'm playing. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So, and then I may do another 1-hour playthrough of Mass Effect 2 on PlayStation. That one I probably will start with that one, then go back to Mass Effect 1. So that's kind of the way it's looking. But make sure, if you're not following me on Twitch, I think I'm CTG. What is it? Is it CTG Twitch or something like that? But shout out to everybody who has followed me. So Ready Player One, Wolf Saints 94, Ice Queen, everybody that has joined. Again, we're trying to get that up to 50 people. We got about 32, I think. So yeah, come on over. It's 8. This sub is 18. We need 18 to get to 50, and then I plan on doing a giveaway at 50. So that'll be. But Twitch has a lot of stuff, especially if you stream, if you game. They got a lot of stuff. So Capono says he will always game native hardware. Yeah, I understand that. The streaming's not meant for you, and that's fine. How many times have I played the trilogy? A whole bunch. So, but as far as streaming it, this is the most I've streamed it. I kept saying I'm gonna stream it, and I'm now streaming it. So kind of a back to school type of thing. My birthday is this month, and this is my favorite game, so I can stream it, one on YouTube, one on Twitch, and it allows me to. And I promised myself that I would try to get the 50 people by the end of the year on Twitch, and we're halfway there. You know, we got about 28 to 32. So they got double standards. Well, again, they may have. I don't know. I'm not sure if they do. I know they changed a lot of their rules. They had what did they have? So because they had girls playing video games, but they would be in bikini tops, and guys were donating to them left and right. Like people filed complaints on them. So it's crazy. So you bet PS3 games streaming on PS Now are just it could be. It could be, but if they can get it going, and people have been complaining, oh, they don't have anything for us. We want to play PS3 games, which again, okay, fine. But Sony considers PS3 a dark period in their life, even though them doubling down on first party games like Killzone and The Last of Us, stuff like that. Naughty Dog carried them through the PS3 and PS4 generation. Naughty Dog had what? They gave us 6 games, and people were like, well, Naughty Dog ain't doing nothing this generation. They did everything last gen. I mean, we got Lost Legacy, we got Uncharted 4, we got we got the Nathan, was it the Drake collection? The Drake collection. I mean, so the games are, all these games are now 60 frames per second. Okay. I started to play Uncharted, and I did that underwater diving part. It was 1080p 120. Wow, I thought they did a fantastic job. So I had no issue with what Naughty Dog is doing. They have done a lot with the PS5, but people are like, well, they need to be doing this and they need to be doing that, and it doesn't make sense. Sony's going in the wrong direction, and then they try to come out and brag about the direction Sony's going. Okay. They brag about the direction Sony is going, which is messed up, because it's like, okay, you just criticize them. So, but because you are a trash ass content creator, you have to come out and you have to say and brag about what they're doing. When you just try to, when you just said the stuff you said, it's like, man, stop the cap, man. This is retarded. This is retarded. So Jim Ryan says nobody want to play them old games. Yeah, I know. I know. So, and I don't think he's wrong. I just think you have look, let me make this clear. The one thing, I can't say the one thing. One of the things Microsoft got right with their series consoles is the backwards compatibility and the I guess you would call it nostalgia. You can't put a price on nostalgia. You can't. And people playing, look, I've enjoyed playing old games on Xbox, but I also know that's what Xbox advertised. They walked out there on stage and said the Series X will allow you to play your library. I think Phil Spencer said you can bring your whole library with you or something like that. Microsoft got that right. All right. Just like they got the whole thing where VRR was available at launch. Microsoft got that right. Okay? So, again, I don't have an issue with what they got right. That's why I keep saying, man, if you listen to what the developers said about the Series X, you're fine. If you listen to Dealer, if you listen to D, if you listen to Zulker, if you listen to those guys, then you got an issue, okay? Because you shouldn't have believed them. You should have listened to the developers. You said this Microsoft is cool, but doesn't justify starting. Well, again, I'm not saying it did. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. I said that the backwards compatibility thing is something they got right. That's it. That is it. All right? It doesn't, just like how the Chinese stole the design of the F-35 and they made the J-20. So, and again, China stealing the designs or stealing the way the plane looks it's bad that they did it. Absolutely. It's bad that China did that, but it tells you that the United States got the design of jets correct. So everybody wants one that's like the United States does. Okay. But at the end of the day, Microsoft got all that right. That's why people were like, yeah, Sony, when they activated VRR, people don't understand. So the PS5 is a peripheral device that Sony looks at that you attach to a TV, preferably one of their TVs. And if they couldn't figure out what TVs that Sony had out in the wild that they were going to update. So the people who have the 800 series Sony TVs, if you go back 800 series, they had like the 750 series and they had the 800 series, stuff like that. The 800 series didn't get no VRR update. Xbox is getting Chocolate Thunder. They are right now. So everything sold in Walmart is from China. Well, I hope the meat isn't. I did get some wangs from Walmart the other day. Pretty good. So, you know, that's why I say to people, it's not that Xbox got a whole generation wrong. They got things right as well, but the main thing they need are the games, and now that is becoming an issue. So, but again, I think the Series S was made to be a secondary console to the PlayStation. It was a way to get people to buy this is just my opinion. I think Microsoft knew that they were going to get their butts handed to them in the console space again. All right. So they created a lower spec console because they're thinking, okay, you PlayStation guys, you're going to go out and get PlayStations, but you can also get a Series S. Like a friend of mine, that's what he did that. He has a Series S, he has a monitor, and he has his PlayStation hooked up to his 65-inch TV that he bought. All right, he bought a big old Bravia TV. So he's happy. He's like, man, yeah, I got the monitor hooked up with my Series S. I'm good. I can play Xbox games on Game Pass and pay whatever, $10 a month, whatever he's paying. He has Plus for PlayStation. Again, he's paying another 10 or 14 bucks. So he said for him, he's paying like $24 and he gets access to a lot of games. He has 2 kids, right? So, and when his kids are playing on the PlayStation, he'll play on the Xbox. So he's happy. That's what I think. I think Microsoft was going for that. Like, hey, you know what? You can still play on your Xbox. You know what? It's going to be a secondary console. So yeah, go get you a 1080p monitor if you're a PlayStation person and enjoy some of the games we got over here as well. So and then they came out with a premium console, the Series X, that they could talk about, well, look at the power prowess and stuff like that. But then the games came out and they were broken down by guys like Digital Foundry, and I forget the guy that's of Spanish descent, L something. He does a really good job though. And NX Gamer, Digital Foundry, those guys are like, yeah, look, there's not that big a difference in these games when they came out. That's why when Digital Foundry was doing those things, remember the early reviews? This is surprising. This kind of set us back. We weren't expecting this. They were saying things like that. And then they defaulted just to say, well, Xbox has worse frame rate. PlayStation has a better frame rate, but on Xbox, wink, wink, nod, nod. Turn on VRR. Okay, like Call of Duty runs better on PlayStation, but they were like, if you're on Xbox, turn on VRR. You don't have this problem, stuff like that. So Sony took over a year to bring the HDMI 2.1. Yeah, they again. But my point is that so guess what? They couldn't even figure out what TVs to put to implement 2.1 on, and you had people saying, well, PlayStation doesn't have this. Yeah, it's not going to because Sony can't even figure out what TVs to patch it with. You see what I'm saying? It's just stuff like that, man. Like, damn, people are stupid. So let's see here. Any other questions? A Naughty Dog is fine. Yeah, if you don't know Neil Druckmann, hopefully I'm saying his name right. Neil said something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing it, he's working on a new game. Also, Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker, I think, allegedly have been called in to Naughty Dog to for a project. Now, some people, like myself, believe this is the remaster of The Last of Us Part 2. So but the Troy Baker, whoever played Joel, if I got that guy wrong, I know Ashley Johnson plays Ellie. So what are they going in for? You see what I'm saying? So what are they going in for? Yeah, there you go, Mario Heat. Yeah, shout out to L to that guy. I don't want to do that. So that's right. Those guys are very powerful white Christians. So yeah, there you go. White. But said Uncharted runs so much better now that PS5 finally got VRR. Was a stuttering mess before. Well, again, I didn't have a stuttering mess issue, but I'll take your word for it. At the end of the day, my point is that this is how VRR affected those games, and this is something that Microsoft got correct. You know, that they had VRR at the jump. They were ready. They had Atmos at the jump. Now, Sony went with 3D sound, which I'm in the medical field. You can ask a doctor. You ask a doctor that specializes in ears, you know, like ENT stuff. They say, well, no, you want the best headsets to wear are 3D audio headsets. Why? Because that mimics the way your ear captures sound in real life. That's why. That's why. All right. So, but MBG said this wasn't for a game though. What do you mean? What, as far as what? Have to you have to be a little more specific there. Troy Baker does play Joel. Okay, I couldn't remember. So yeah, allegedly Joel's the voice actor for Joel, allegedly. Troy Baker and the voice actress for Ellie, Ashley Johnson, allegedly, have been called back to Naughty Dog to work on a project. Now, my speculation is that they're going in for the Last of Us remake remaster part 2, and they're going to re-record parts. Now, that's just me thinking out loud. Okay, that's me thinking out loud. That doesn't mean it's going to be true, and it may not be true, and that's fine. Like I said, it's just me speculating. So it is what it is. The Naughty Dog got to move the hell on. Again, not if they're going to think about it. They're doing a part 2 and 3 season to The Last of Us. They have said that Abby is coming. So what do I think that's going to lead to? A remake, remaster of part 2. So that's what I think. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. It's not the end of the world. You're not going to get attacked because you don't agree with me. It could be something brand spanking new, and that would be great as well. The VRR wasn't even working on TVs at first because there was an issue with the panels on the TVs. Which TVs? So which TVs? So that's the thing. The high-end TVs, I think that they were 2.1 capable. No, they didn't have an issue. But you know, but if so, yeah, go ahead and send me a report on it. That's fine. I mean, I know I had an X85J Sony TV, and my VRR when I activated it didn't even work yet, but it was there. You know, I turned the panel on. I'm like, all right, well, just got to update. MBG showed this wasn't for a game. It was for something. It could be for something else, and that's fine. That's fine. I mean, again, it's fine. MBG could be correct. Shout out to MBG. Sony flat TVs. So MBG is wrong a whole lot. So, like I said, it could be for something else. It could be for something with the TV show. So, I mean, again, it could be. I don't know. So we'll find out. Or it could be for something that they're working on that's brand new. You hope The Last of Us remaster has improved audio because the audio between cutscenes and gameplay was weirdly... Yeah, see, for me, well, I didn't play with a headset on. But I know one time I got killed when I was trying to update my gun, and something, I don't know what it was called, it came up from behind and it ripped me apart. So, you know, it was, I don't know what it was called. I don't know if it was just a regular... Because they gave those zombies different names. Like, they're zombies. You know, so... you know, so they gave them different names. I know. It's just like people were telling me about Days Gone. Well, they aren't zombies because they do this. Well, they're zombies. That's They walk around in hordes and they eat people. And those are zombies. But yeah, I didn't have an issue with the audio. Granted, I want to make this clear. I didn't play The Last of Us Part 2 with headsets on. Part 1, I just did the remaster. That was phenomenal with the headset on. They really did a good job on audio with that. So, you watched Oppenheimer in IMAX. He said his cheeks were clapped for 3 hours. And it's something else, man. That movie's a rated R movie, and it's tracking to make over $750 million. So it's and they extended the IMAX run. I tell people, man, this movie is so good. I think Florence Pugh is gonna get nominated for Best Supporting Actress. I think Emily Blunt is gonna get Best Actress nominated. The guy that plays Oppenheimer is going to be nominated for Best Actor. I think Downey Jr. is a shoo-in for Best Supporting Actor. And I think the movie wins Best Picture. That's how, for me, I was just like, people walked out of that theater like, wow. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. So now I didn't think it would be as political as it was, but it was extremely political as well. But again, I enjoyed it. So, that again, Oppenheimer is my favorite scientist, so I am biased, to him. So, and it's because you had theory, but then you had theoretical sciences, but he could apply them in real time, and it wasn't just him. I know that. So, but yeah, but I did not know that William Teller was part of the Manhattan Project. I didn't know that. So I was like, wow. When they said his name, I'm like, well, that's the guy that created the hydrogen bomb. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I highly recommend it, but I recommend you watch it. I recommend you watch it in a in a high end. I am trying to figure out what is going on with YouTube. Okay. Yeah, I recommend you all watch it in some type of XD video or IMAX. Go get that. It's extra. It is extra, but it is worth it. You're not going to leave that theater upset. So, yeah, the bomb went off. Yeah, that was something else. That was something else. So, runners, bloaters, clickers, shamblers, and Rat King. Okay. Well, I think what got me was a shambler. I guess that's what it would have been called. So, but yeah, that's what got. But it was when I was putting the gun thing together. So that tells me that the game is still. I didn't know that the game was still running. The game was still running while I was doing it. I thought the world would pause, and it didn't do that. So that was a surprise to me. Yeah, Mr. Murphy. Yeah. Yeah, Cillian Murphy. Yeah, I think he is going to be nominated for Best Actor. I'm not here. I think the only one I feel should win, that I feel like is going to win, is Robert Downey Jr. He should win, and he will win. And I think when he does, it will be the greatest comeback. It'll be one of the best comebacks in Hollywood history. Because people got to remember, Robert Downey Jr. was on like the D list of actors. And people didn't even want to give him a job. He had a lot of outside issues. You can read about it yourself. But if he can come back and get nominated and win an Oscar, I think it will be considered the greatest, one of the greatest Hollywood comeback stories in history. This is like Johnny Depp coming back. Okay, I think when Johnny Depp's movies, I think the 2 movies he's doing, once those movies come back and people realize, damn, what a damn good actor this man is, I think it will be it'll be a tremendous comeback story. So it was a miniature explosion film with a close up. They lied about making biggest film explode. Okay. Well, they can't create. They're not gonna drop an atomic bomb for realism. Okay. Mario, he said, yeah, Robert Downey Jr., yeah, it's a tremendous comeback. If he can win an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, which I think he will, okay, I think he will. With that said, however, Florence Pugh that played his love interest up to a certain point, and if everybody wants, Florence Pugh was the girl playing Black Widow, the new girl playing Black Widow. So if you want to see what she really looks like, you can go watch Oppenheimer because she's got a couple of sex scenes in there. Emily Blunt, I'm sorry, she played his wife, and she should be nominated for Best Actress because she was a tour de force in that movie. So, but I think it's going to be nominated and possibly could win Best Picture as well. That's just my opinion. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I've seen it 3 times now. So, Stalkers. Yeah, I don't know, but what's the difference in a Chambler and a Stalker, or a runner and a Stalker? I mean, the Stalkers are younger, right? Aren't the Stalkers like younger? You know, to me they come around. They look like teenagers. So because the way they can move and they hide. Are they the ones that hide? I hate those things. Why don't you come out and be a man? So. The Last of Us Part 2 had a part where Ellie gets jumped while at the workbench, startled. Yeah, that may have been the part I'm talking about because I didn't know that could happen in the game. Again, I didn't know. So, and that was on PS4. So, with PS5, what I just started realizing is what the best thing to do with those things is just to make bombs, you know, make booby traps and make mines, and you just want to get away from them. So you don't have to fight them all. You don't have to fight them all. You can, it's cool. Like, it's like I kind of learned that in Resident Evil. Of course, I didn't like that dude chasing me with that hat on. So y'all call him Mr. X or something like that. And then I had to deal with that other thing in part 3, Nemesis, whatever that thing was called. I mean, it was chasing me as well, but it wasn't as bad as that Mr. X dude because he didn't make no noise. I remember I was in a room and then all of a sudden my character just went down and I looked around and he was standing there. I'm like, how did this dude come in here? You know, and they said he can go to I thought I was safe in the save room, you know, in Resident Evil 2, when you can save your game. That dude come in there. I'm like, all right, this is ridiculous. You know, this is unsettling. And then all right, I'm away from him. I went to a different part of the mansion that was in this greenhouse thing. All right, he ain't down here. He come down there after me. So just like, hey, this is ridiculous. So I got away from him now. So yeah, they all want to try to bite me, I guess. So so they made it sound like they filmed a giant explosion and they didn't. Well, it's called special effects. It was a big explosion though. But yeah. So So it was a big explosion though. But yeah, it was fun. Both Barbie and Oppenheimer lied about not using CGI to. Well, no, Oppenheimer, they always said they were using CGI. I don't know where that came from. When he announced, if you want to watch a Nolan movie that doesn't use a lot of CG, then watch Tenet or Memento or something like that. But Interstellar and then Oppenheimer use a lot of CG. They had to. Then they can't go out there and explode nuclear bombs just can we explode one atomic bomb just for effect? Hell no. So, Shamblers admit cordyceps gas, stalkers hide. That's the ones, yeah. They were hiding, but that's why I make those bombs. It's like, yeah, I mean, you can run, but you can't hide from me. I make those mines and then poof, they were blowing up. You just be walking around, boom, boom. So, why is it so hot? I already did my walk this morning. I do have to go up to Starbucks and get my pink drink with a shot of cold foam. I do want that. So 20,000 tons of just 20,000 tons. Yeah, they use kilotons, didn't they? Tenet was all practical effects. Well, it was some CG when they crashed the plane into the hangar, but they did in real life crash a plane into a hangar. That actually happened. So yeah, that's why I said Nolan's best movie with no CG, Tenet and Memento, in my opinion. So, but that's my opinion. So Tenet's one of my favorite movies. So, and it's now my second favorite Nolan movie. It was my first. So, but people are like, what about the Batman movies? Well, that used a lot of CG. So, you can literally hear Mr. X heavy boots. I could not. So at least when he came into that, I mean, when? I mean, how do you? I mean, you know, I didn't play it with headsets on. Maybe I can hear it with headsets, but not when he was down in the greenhouse. Now, if you're talking about when he was walking around the building, first thing, what dude got on a trench coat and a black hat? Like, that's bad news, man. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So runners are in the earliest stage of infection. Nolan needs to make Batman again. No, that well, look. Did you see Matt Reeves' Batman with Robert Pattinson? That is actually a good movie. It's a little long. I felt a little long in the tooth watching it, but overall, it's a good movie. It was a good movie. It was long, however. I mean, it could have been about 30 minutes shorter. They said Batman had CG, and they said everything. Yeah, Batman was CG. When the bats showed up, they didn't use real bats. That was CG. You know, when he jumped and then the second when he jumped the Batmobile building the building, that was CG. They didn't really jump a car building the building. Come on, guys. It is what Top Gun. The last part of the movie was 100% CG. They blended real shots with CG, but that MiG was not in the movie. That the explosion on when they dropped their bombs, the explosion was all CG. It was all CG. You know. So, and they show you that if you watch the making of Top Gun, you will see the CG stuff. So now they did really launch from the carrier deck. That was real, but they were in a 2-seater F-18. Even the pilots online on YouTube have said, yeah, this is the back seat of the F-18, because there's certain things that if you're the pilot that they have on the seats that they couldn't fake that in the movie. So again, it's still a good movie, though. I enjoyed the movie. Let's see here. Now you can see the lift under the truck when it flips in the movie. What movie? Misconception about CGI and Nolan film. Well, yeah, I mean, they're putting CG in almost all these films. So it's ridiculous. I mean, I just thought it was common knowledge. Now, the CG has gotten so good that there's a lot of things you can't tell is CG. I agree with that as well. But again, I couldn't hear Mr. X. But again, it was unsettling. I was trying to get out of there, and that was hell getting up out of there. So Pattinson needs to work out more. Well, remember, he's playing a young Bruce Wayne. So, and that's fine. He fit that suit fine, you know. Yeah, Nolan said he was done with Batman after Dark Knight, right? Yeah, I mean, the Dark Knight series is one of the best, if not the best comic book series, live actions ever done. I mean, that's all I can really say. So, so we need to see your. Oh, now we need to see my gamer tag. Yeah, I know, right? You need to see your trophies. Well, Sony took all my trophies trying to stop the Activision deal. I don't even know if they're there anymore. So, but yeah, I beat that game. I never killed Mr. X, so I thought I could. Oh, matter of fact, I did kill him. Hold on. You shoot him with a bazooka, right? Because somehow he gets on the same lift you get on. I'm like, this man again? Was that Mr. X or was that Nemesis? I can't remember. Somebody had to fight on a lift and I blew it in half. So I blew it in half. So that's, I mean, again, that's a long time ago. I mean, good grief. The last Batman was Game Pass Batman. Well, there you go. So, but I enjoyed the Pattinson Batman. I didn't think I would. I want to make that clear. I didn't think I would. I was very skeptical. Then I watched it on HBO Max. I was like, this is actually pretty good. This like Zack Snyder's Justice League. I watched that. I'm like, this is actually pretty good. You know what I'm saying? You know, I actually enjoyed that a lot more than that original Justice League. My God, the original Justice League is so bad. So bad. So that was Mr. X in Tyrant Form. I can't remember. Yeah, I know I had to blow. I know you shoot like a bazooka at him or something like that. But it killed me like 10 times before I was able to get him. So let's see here. I think we've read everything here. Yeah, but guys, that was pretty much all I had. I wanted to be here a little bit longer, almost 2 hours, because I hadn't podcasted in a while. I'm doing another podcast later on about Trump's indictment. Gonna kind of go over the indictment and why Trump got indicted by the federal government. If you are interested in that. And I'll sneak in the UFO hearing that we just had about 2 weeks ago. I'm going to try to sneak that in if I don't do it today, however, because there is some NFL that I may watch. If I don't do it today, I will do the show. I'm late tomorrow at work. So I will move the show to the 19th. Well, because I'll be playing Madden. So we'll do it on the 17th. So we'll do it on the 17th. We'll just do that. So I'll do the Trump indictment show, the UFO show, the same. I'll do it the same show. That will be on StreamYard. And that I would do it the 17th. I'm going to set that time for 6:30 and maybe do a 6:30 to 8 o'clock podcast, something like that. So we'll do that. We'll do that. So Mr. X is a Leon campaign exclusive boss fight. He's not with the girl because I never used the girl. I started to replay it with the girl, or did I beat it with the? I can't remember. Yeah, I used Leon because he was that strong Christian white man. You know, I mean, anytime there's a white man named Leon, you gotta respect his authority, right? So, isn't that right? So, all right, guys, I am gonna jump off here. I appreciate you. I know there's other YouTubers about to come on. It's 11:30. This will give me a chance to go to Starbucks and get my pink drink. Yes, I love that pink drink. It's got strawberry pieces in it. Yummy. So Naughty Dog new IP will set the bar. We'll have to see what it is. We'll see what it is. I know Neil said something about making a space game, and I agree that Microsoft having the flight sim game and then having a space game, and Sony doesn't really have anything like that first party. And Sony needs to look into that. Also, yeah, Sony is going to buy. They are going to buy a publisher. We'll have to wait and see. I'm hearing it's going to either be Square Enix or Capcom. But we'll keep an eye on that for you as well. So, all right, guys, I'm going to jump on off here. I do appreciate you. And I will talk to you on the 17th. Remember, 6 o'clock, 6:30, 17th of this month. Deuces.